Thank you, Mr President. I want to speak on this motion because I am also quite concerned about the future of Tomago Aluminium Smelter. On several occasions in recent years, New South Wales has been at risk of involuntary load shedding, known to most as blackouts. In 2023, when Liddell is slated to be switched off, we've been warned by the Australian Energy Market Operator, AEMO, that 770,000 households will be at risk of a blackout during an extreme heat event. And we risk these blackouts becoming more and more common as coal-fired power stations reach the end of their life, as our population grows and we have a greater reliance on the electricity system. On these occasions when power supply is at risk, we are asked to turn off our air conditioning and reduce our power use. Tomago Aluminium Smelter, the state's largest electricity consumer and home to over 1,000 jobs, both direct and indirect, in the Hunter region, is also required to reduce its electricity consumption. The Tomago smelter is obliged to do so when instructed. Each time they reduce their power outage, they risk a catastrophic potline freeze, as outlined earlier, that would take years and millions of dollars to repair. You do not simply restart it. The more likely scenario is that they would simply close and lose over 1,000 direct and indirect jobs. This would be devastating to the Hunter region and New South Wales more widely. The company contributes $1.5 billion annually to the Australian economy, of which $800 million is spent locally. The smelter produces 580,000 tonnes of aluminium every year, of which around 25% is the Australian aluminium supply. 90% of the product made at Tomago is actually exported to the wider Asia-Pacific region. But, Mr President, Tomago is just one example. We know that governments overseas are using the state of energy and uncertainty in policy to lure away companies from New South Wales. During the recent State Development Committee inquiry, we heard from the Minerals Council of Australia, who told us that the state of Pennsylvania, in fact, had a trade mission to New South Wales in 2017, which targeted local manufacturing firms to move their operations due to energy costs and reliability. This submission was backed up by the AWU, who submitted that, and I quote, rising power prices and unreliability of supply is on the verge of collapsing Australia's manufacturing base. We must not accept, like some others are willing to in this place, that the closure of successful businesses like Tomago Aluminium is an acceptable byproduct of the pursuit of their green ideology in this place. In these times, we must do everything to ensure a diversified economy and to keep as many jobs local as possible. And that's why I'm glad to support this motion. And I'm very glad that we have many members in the chamber here tonight to talk about Hunter jobs, Mr President.